Boston New Technology BNT 100. How are you guys? I'm Chris Rakenna, lead organizer for Boston New Technology. I welcome you, and I'm going to actually turn it over to Mendix to give you guys a proper welcome in just a second as we figure out the technical issue here. Please welcome Mendix.
Amazing. I wish you could see the view from here. We are so thrilled at Mendix to welcome Boston New Tech. So excited that you're having your 100th meeting here. And we cannot wait to see all of the exciting tech everybody is going to talk about. I'll be up here in a couple minutes and give you a quick demo of Mendix. I know there's a lot of other really exciting demos and things to talk about today, so I will hand it back to Chris for our next speaker.
Hey everybody, thank you. Glad to be here. Thanks for hosting us, Mendix. And again, I'm Chris Rakenna, lead organizer, and I'm here with Tom Maloney, organizer, and also Mark Weiner in the back there. If you have any questions or suggestions, feedback, ideas, feel free to talk to any of us and we'll help you out. We have some special guest speakers tonight that you'll find out about very shortly. And before we get to that, we will just kind of go over some program details. So we have Mendix and 5 startups presenting tonight. And then we also have a Twitter hashtag for BNT100. So whoever tweets anything positive, photos, or any feedback, comments about the event and the startups, you'll be entered to win a t-shirt and hat from BNT, which you've probably seen as you came in, as well as a t-shirt from Mendix. So we're going to give out a few sets of those at the end. So we encourage that, and of course that helps all the startups get publicity, which is part of what we're all about. So Boston New Technology is geared towards supporting local innovation, helping startups launch and grow, and partnering with corporations or later stage startups like Mendix. So if you are interested in hosting an event, please talk with us. We will be retweeting you guys on Boston New Tech, so please do tweet, and we will hopefully get a lot of buzz for tonight's event. Each of these startups will get about 5 minutes to present an overview and demo of their product, and then they'll ask for questions from you guys for another 5 minutes, so think of some good ones. And before we get started, I just want to thank some of the partners. So all the information you need tonight is in the program that we have printed out. All of our partners are listed here. We have information on the startups and their Twitter handles on the back, and also some upcoming events, so check that out. And just like to start off with thanking Inked for providing our shirts and hats.
Thank you everyone for showing up. So at Inked, we print and embroider custom apparel and offer all types of promotional items, from koozies to journals to Patagonia to pens. If it has a logo, we print it. Thank you.
Thank you. And next we have your profile video filming tonight.
How's it going, everybody? Is this one on? Can you hear me? Am I coming out of the speaker? Yeah, this is the 100th event. This is super cool. I've been doing video production in Boston for about 5 years. My name's Nate Cantalupo. This is my homepage. It's Your Profile Video is the name of this company that I am representing right now. If anybody builds websites, I'm actually looking to redo this website. I've been working for so many years now and have so much content that's not on there. If anybody does websites, reach out to me. I had a really cool idea, actually. I'm going to get a video shot of the crowd celebrating the 100th event. So I'm going to count to 3, and if everybody wants to put their hands in the air and shout Boston New Technology, it's going to be really fun. So let's try it out. 1, 2, 3. That was really cool. That was really cool. So I do full-scale video production. Sometimes I have a team of 10 people working. Done stuff for McLean Hospital, Partners Healthcare. And with my partner Tom Dodge, who anybody who's been here in the last few months has met him here. We've done over, I think it's 5 million now on crowdfunding campaigns. So yeah, reach out. My email's on the sheet, Nate@yourprofilevideo.com. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Nate. And I also want to thank the Boston Headshot, providing the great headshots tonight. And you'll get more.
Thank you, thank you. Thanks, everyone, for coming. This is a nice special occasion, number 100, so it's wonderful to see you all. My name is Andrew Kubica. I am the co-founder, along with Dan Nguyen right over there, of the Boston Headshot. I like the enthusiasm. I like them. So we are a commercial photography company. So basically what we do is we are a one-stop shop for your business. So if you need website content, social media content, headshots, obviously, anything that you need, product shots, we do all that good stuff. So please come, get your free headshot. If you don't get a chance to get one tonight, we try to come every month and grab our card. We would love to work with you and your friends. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And we also have the Yard here tonight, which is our headquarters, co-working office for Boston New Technology. And we have Joe.
Hey everyone, my name is Joseph Ty. I'm the Director of People and Culture at the Yard and I'm here in Boston for the week supporting our team. The Yard is a co-working space. We're really proud to be partnered with Chris and Boston New Technology. We offer everything from co-working space up to 50 desk offices for small businesses. So if anybody wants to try us out, there's a link on the page that is on everyone's seat. We're offering everybody who attended this evening a 1-week free trial. I'm also going to leave some day passes up at the reception desk. If anybody wants to go grab those, please stop by. I'll be hanging out in the back. Come see me if you have any questions. Thanks.
And I also want to thank co-organizer Tom Maloney and let him give his intro here.
Good evening. My name is Tom Maloney. I do trainings and seminars, but one thing I do at all these events is I give a tip about how to network and how networking is so important, especially in this environment in Boston. Usually we have Chuck Goldstone here tonight, but he's not available tonight, and we talk about, and he speaks usually first, and he talks about the story. But in Boston, one thing we understand is 2 things have to happen. First thing is you need to have a story from your heart that nobody can take from you. Second thing is you need to know how to network. I have a whole program about teaching people to network, but I'm going to give you a couple of tips. One of the first things to do in networking is take 60 seconds and think before you come in here, what's your goal to network tonight? Who are you looking to meet? Just so your mind gets open to the idea of potentially meeting the person that could solve a lot of your issues. Next thing is, I want you, when you meet somebody, don't say, what do you do? Say, what brings you here? Or an open-ended question that allows the conversation to keep going. Last thing, I brought this up last night, but when we communicate, there are 3 things that happen. The first thing is the words we use, that's 7% of our communication. The next thing is our voice, that's 37% of our communication, and 57% of our communication is our body language. So with that, I'm done talking about Tom Maloney and climbing the success ladder, and I want to talk a little bit about the magic of Boston New Technology and what Chris has done with this group. It's amazing. Look at the crowd that's here tonight. We've had some experiences that floor people, and you never, ever know who's sitting in the audience. And I'll tell people, I'll invite them here and say you can meet some real powerful people who could change your life. Some people come back to me and say, I can't believe what happened. Other people say, I didn't meet anybody. Well, did you communicate and network with them? But 2 stories I want to tell you about. Back about a year or so ago, ran into somebody and I said, you look familiar. And he said, yeah, we started talking. He had presented 2 nights before for Boston New Technology. I said, how was it? He said, well, it was all right, so on and so forth, until 2 days later, somebody knocked on our door, and when that person left, they left us a $100,000 check to get started. Okay? So, I mean, those are the stories. In this room right now, there are some real powerhouse people who can change other people's lives. Boston New Technology, the connections that have been made. 700 different people have presented, in front of you tonight, which you're going to see another 7 tonight, and their product getting out there, you never know where it's going to be. Is it going to be on Shark Tank in 2 months? Is it going to be in another competition? Are you going to see it on the different panels that are out there that we always see around Boston? This is a great starting place. 28,000 people in this meetup. So look at the network that gets involved. You present here, you're in our newsletter twice a week. What happens is that goes out to 28,000 people. So in a matter of 4 weeks, look at the PR you're getting out of this group and how it's such an integral part of Boston. And Chris, who in Boston doesn't know Chris McKenna? You'll talk to people, you'll say Boston, oh, Chris McKenna, Chris McKenna, Chris McKenna. We're so lucky to have him in Boston doing what he does. And this is only half his home. His other home, half a home, is down in Austin. So, did I lose this one? So with that, I just wanted to give some high points about Boston New Technology, how it's changed the environment in Boston, what the intents are in the future. We do 4 different events a month, well, pretty much a month. One of them is every other month. That's the Founders Talk. We had that last night with Bobby Carlton spoke. Chris is also going to speak later on about the other people that have spoken at the Founders Talk. We do an open panel discussion at General Assembly. And we do an event that at the Yard. We're supposed to be doing that once a month about getting people there to see the Yard and experience the great things that go on there. So with that, Chris doesn't know this, I'm going to come back up a little later on and talk a little bit more. But with this, I'm going to turn it back over to Chris. And thank you, Chris. I really appreciate it, Howard. Thanks.
Thanks a lot, everyone. Since we're running a little short on time, I'm not going to take too much time myself, but I do want to give you a good sense of the vibe we have here at B&T by just playing our intro video to begin with.
We're so excited to be here at Boston New Technology. We're about to present our baby food to 200 people.
Welcome to Boston New Technology. Who's ready to see some awesome startups?
So we're excited about being at the Startup Showcase. It's an amazing forum and we're really pumped about it.
Boston New Technology is an amazing event where tons of local startups come to present their business, to learn about their audience, to learn about their market, and to learn how to give a really effective presentation.
Boston New Technology is a great event for entrepreneurs trying to not only meet with one another, but get involved in the community. Boston is such a powerful, innovating community.
You know, as an early stage company, we're just looking to network with people and meet people who are kind of passionate about similar stuff and technology, and you never know who you can meet and what kind of impact that could have on your company.
There's just a tremendous amount of learning. I mean, you don't even have to do anything. You don't have to say a word to anybody. Just go to an event and look around and see what's happening, see what people are doing.
We are ready for our next round of funding, so we're hoping to meet some investors that will be a good fit.
If you are in a startup mode or you are in the technology space in Boston, you really should check out Boston New Technology. Networking is so incredibly important. You never know who's in the room and you never know who people know.
Thank you. So we thank your profile video for that great presentation of B&T. What happened? Okay. So with that, just a couple more things is, I actually started this group with Dave Rafkind because he came up from New York City and saw there was no similar monthly tech meetup here in Boston, and that was 8 years ago. So we had our first event at Microsoft Nerd with only about 20 people. And I was just an attendee at that time, but I decided to volunteer to help him run the group just because I love networking, I love startups, I love technology. So we really had no master plan or really knew that our group would just keep getting more and more and more traction to finally today on Meetup, we're in the top 100 meetups in the world among 300,000 groups. Pretty awesome, right? Yeah. So that's just a great, sort of accomplishment that we've been able to continue to support local innovation and get support from great partners like Mendix. So we appreciate all of our partners. I'd like to just thank a few key partners, certainly Foley Hoag right down the street from here. We've been having quarterly events over there for at least 5 years. And we also have Dassault Systems, another partner in Waltham. We will be having an event at PTC, also in the Seaport, very soon. Next month, we're going to be at HULT. We've had a few events over there, and we're going back there again for EdTech and Career Tech. We'll be back at Foley Hoag in June for Health Tech, most likely, our theme. As far as what we've been able to accomplish, we look towards really what Tom was talking about. How are people benefiting from the connections we enable them to get? Everyone talks about networking. Even in the video here, most of our founders enjoy the networking and talking with people and making connections, forming partnerships, finding co-founders or investors or whatever support they need. They tend to find it at events like ours. So we always get great feedback. We look forward to more feedback. How we can improve in the future. Please do let us know. And I think we should just do a little something special to sort of celebrate. So let's do a little kind of selfie here. If you have a drink, hold it up. Or if you have just a thumb, hold it up. Whatever you want to hold up, and we'll take a big group photo, all right? All right. 1, 2. How about another one? Come on, guys. All right. So thanks so much. So with that, we're going to start with our guest speaker, Mateos Lima from City of Boston.
All right, yeah, like Chris mentioned, my name is Mateos Lima. I am the startup manager in the Mayor's Office of Economic Development at the City of Boston. And I'm going to try to speak quickly and keep this pretty short so that people stay interested. So I grew up in Boston. I was actually born and raised here. I grew up in Jamaica Plain and spent a good deal of my life in Boston before moving away for school, and then traveled and took a couple of other jobs and worked in this country and abroad. And then about a year ago, I was brought back to Boston, and I applied and got this new job at the city called the startup manager. And the first thing I thought was I did not know that that role existed in the municipal government. I think when a lot of people think about what their local government is doing, they don't really think that there's a person whose main focus is engaging with the startup community in that city. And so just to tell you a little bit about my role and the team I work with. So I work within the business strategy unit. And really what we're focused on is attraction of businesses who are thinking about relocating in Boston, who are located in Boston and thinking about expanding to other places, engagement with the businesses that already exist here, and retention. So making sure that Boston and the innovation and startup ecosystems here are a place that, it's not just where you want to start your business, but it's where you want to grow your business. It's a place where all entrepreneurs can flourish and all businesses can have an opportunity to really be competitive. So in my work, really what I've been doing, I've been at the city for about 3 months. So I'm still learning about the role. But in my work, a lot of what I've been doing is really trying to meet with startups and understand what are the main challenges that startups and innovators and entrepreneurs face in the city of Boston. And a lot of what I found is that, startups and the innovation economy here in Boston is really flourishing. And just to give you kind of like a little bit of the city spiel, some of the reasons for that, Boston and the greater Boston area have over 75 universities and colleges. And I think one of the things that makes Boston such an incredible place is the workforce here in Boston. So we have one of the most educated workforces in the world. We have some of the most incredible universities that produce those thinkers. But also 1 in 4 Bostonians are foreign born. So a huge part of our economy and a huge reason why our economy flourishes is because we are a global center. We're a hub for entrepreneurs, for innovators, and people with technical proficiencies to come from all different countries, to come from all different backgrounds, to bring opinions and skills to a ecosystem that requires people with creative solutions, requires people from a diversity of backgrounds to really make, to have creative solutions to what happen to be complex issues. So I focus on all startups in the city of Boston, as well as the institutions that are really working on engaging with startups. So that's funders, such as accelerators and venture capitalists, but also the first-time entrepreneur who's really in that idea stage and wondering, you know, not only how do I create a business, but you know, where do I get support in doing that? And I think one of the things that's really awesome is among the businesses I deal with in the technology front, a lot of the people here in Boston are doing things that are completely different than any other city in the United States. You know, Boston is very singular. We're not trying to be Manhattan. We're not trying to be San Francisco. I engage with a lot of businesses who actually left Boston 10 years ago and now come back and reach out to the city and say, hey, you know, we actually started in Boston. We went to San Francisco, and now we hear Boston is the hub for life sciences, for biotech. We hear Boston is the hub for blue tech and the blue economy, so clean tech that's revolving around ocean and ocean conservation. So it's really, really awesome for me to see, you know, to have grown up in Boston and to see the innovation economy and the startup economy here kind of grow and flourish into what it is now. And I think that for you guys, you know, all of your work is so important. You know, the biggest employer in Boston is small businesses and startups. So really, you know, you guys make the greatest impact on our economy. And for that, you know, you should all be proud of not only your businesses, but the journey you've undertaken as entrepreneurs or participating in that economy. In addition to that, you know, someone said to me recently who is a guy who used to work at a venture capital firm in San Francisco and recently came over here to start a network. He said to me, you know, San Francisco is really the place you go when you have a product. You know, you have the next flying scooter or something. Boston really attracts the entrepreneurs and the innovators who are seeing 10, 15 years down the road and really want to change what this world looks like. And whether that's clean tech or whether that's biotech and thinking about, you know, the next generation of medical technology and everything in between, the work that you guys do is so integral from an economic standpoint to the actual products they're producing that are, you know, so important for our world, that it's really, really awesome to be in Boston. You know, I'm 3 months into this job, but it's been one of the most incredible experiences I've had because I've had the opportunity to engage with and work with people like you guys. So I just want to first say thank you for having me here tonight and inviting me here just to talk a little bit about myself and my work at the city. And secondly, I know probably a lot of you are wondering what happens in the business strategy unit or what my work actually looks like in its application, or just maybe some of you are first-time entrepreneurs or this is your first time living in Boston, starting a business in Boston. So I wanted to definitely save a little bit of time just to open up for questions in case there were any. So thank you for having me. Yeah, sorry, that was a little bit hard to hear. But I think what you were saying was that, you know, AI is, in terms of the industry, is very up and coming, and it's kind of like a first come, first serve. Everybody's rushing to be the city that's engaging with AI. And it's also very fast growing and kind of making its imprint very quickly. And if the city is doing anything to engage with AI or is thinking about that. Yeah, definitely. So, you know, the city is really working to engage with institutions that are thinking about that type of stuff. You know, we are here to make sure that what's happening in Boston is flourishing, to support the people who are here in Boston and make sure that those businesses and those institutions have everything they need to flourish. So, you know, the city isn't thinking about passing policy around, you know, making AI more accessible here. It's really about what are the institutions who are engaging with AI technology, what are the businesses that are engaging with AI technology, and what do they need to succeed. What that looks like in its application is figuring out, engaging with those institutions and figuring out, is it workforce that's most important here? What are the biggest challenges for people? What are the resources that they need to succeed? Sometimes it's funding. Sometimes it's workforce and finding those skills workers, especially with things like AI. Sometimes it's being able to find affordable real estate in the city that gives people enough room and enough space, enough wiggle room to take on, what amounts to be pretty sizable endeavors, like engaging with AI and creating the next generation of technology in that realm. The city in my unit also has a life science and high-tech industry manager whose role is very alike to mine, but he usually, and our work overlaps quite a bit, but he engages with a lot of bigger businesses, and he has definitely engaged with a number of businesses who have been thinking about coming to Boston, that have been working with AI and making sure that they can find a place within the tech community here, making sure that they can find the people they need to succeed in terms of a workforce, so that they have a fighting chance and they're competitive with other cities like San Francisco and Manhattan in the United States. Any other questions? Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So my work happens to be a lot more one-on-one. So my work is kind of broken down into 3 scopes. The first is engaging one-on-one with startups to work with, businesses to see what do you need. So that might be a conversation where I say, a lot of the time startups come to me and they're like, does the city have money? And I'm like, no, really. The city doesn't have money. Like, we're not, endorsing or investing in individual businesses. We have to be democratic and make sure that, we're not playing favorites and that we're engaging with everybody in an equitable way. But what I do is I work one-on-one with startups and say, what is your greatest challenge? What is it that you really need that you're having trouble finding? And let's say that happens to be capital, right? Access to capital, getting that first stage of capital. What the city has, which is probably its greatest resource, is it would be hard to find an institution in the city that we don't have a relationship with. So what that means is working with a business and saying, okay, what type of capital do you need, and where are the places that you're going to be able to do that, and what introductions can we make so that you actually can find access to that. And a lot of the time with first-time entrepreneurs, someone might think, oh, I need VC funding, when really they'd be better suited for an accelerator program, or really they're better suited for an angel investor, or really they're better suited for a micro loan. And a lot of time for younger entrepreneurs and first-time entrepreneurs, that process is really hard to navigate. So in those conversations, those problems can be anything. I've had conversations where someone's like, hey, I'm moving my company to Boston. I need residential real estate for my employees. And putting them in contact with the right person at the city who's going to say, here's affordable residential real estate. Let's talk about, what your margins are. Let's talk about, what you're really looking for, and putting you in the right place. And then with a lot of startups, the city actually offers technical assistance, which you can apply for, which is, anything from helping with marketing to helping with workforce development. So really, it's endless. The amount of ways that I've engaged with businesses has been so diverse, and the amount of services that the city has provided directly or by making those introductions to the right people, and having the city kind of making an introduction carries a little bit of weight. And for a lot of the time, for that new entrepreneur, having the city behind you can definitely help you get your foot through the door. So there are tons of ways that the city engages with startups, but those are just a few. So I think that's all the time that I had. But again, I just wanted to thank all of you and thank Chris for having me here tonight and giving me this time to talk to you. Thank you.
Folks, give us just a second here to switch over for our first demo.